All right, we are live. Need to make a thumbnail. You guys are just coming in. What's going on? Give people a few minutes to get in here before we get started. What's today? The 6th? Oops. I think my stream titles have been funny lately. I did red, 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 green, 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 and now it's chop, chop, chop. Because that's exactly what's going on in the market. If it was a Bitcoin stream, it'd be only up. Not up only, that's already taken.
Oh shit. Look at Spotify. Spotify's having a day. Almost 3%.
I haven't seen Spotify recently. I don't want to talk about Roku, dude. Scam me.
Look at the Roku Weekly.
Scam me. We got scammed.
Shit, we got scammed with the first Netflix pump. Oh fuck.
No, that'd be more like a Ponzi because we got paid on that actually.
Yeah, we did. I remember I got fucking Netflix calls on accident and it ended up being 100% profitable. It ended up going fucking 300%.
YouTube is not letting me get into my studio, so I guess we're not changing the thumbnail.
You could somewhat call that like a 15-minute inverse head and shoulders on Zoom. They had another 52 weeks low today. It's nice. We're making low every day.
All right, there we go. Should be good to go now. All right, what's going on, guys? Sarish, Ben, William, Vicky, what's going on, guys? Is your name Vicky? Am I pronouncing that right? I haven't seen Vicky spelled like that before.
Oh, later on, I think Schumer and this guy, whatever, they're gonna come together to speak about the debt ceiling.
Gotcha. It is Vicky. Awesome. Okay. So if you guys watched my stream yesterday, we talked about how I would not be surprised if SPY came down to fill this gap and repair the imbalance right here. And that's exactly what we did today. We came down, filled the gap, repaired the imbalance. So this imbalance has been repaired. It's literally exactly the same as what we did the day before, but inverse. So we had like an imbalance here, and then we had a gap up here. So we popped up, filled the gap, repaired the imbalance, and that was the entire day. And that's exactly what we did today. Go down, fill the gap, repair the imbalance. What I mean by repairing the imbalance is like when you have like these long tails that they weren't really traded very heavily, price doesn't really know if that's good value or not because it wasn't really hanging out in that area for too long. So when you go trade in that area, it repairs the imbalance. So it kind of gives people an opportunity to see if that is a good price. And we did agree that this lower price was a good price. So they agreed that 429 to like 431 was a good price. We found value there. So now we're creating kind of a bullish imbalance. We're pushing higher here and trying to put in more value to the high side. If it can hang out of around like 433.80, then this will shift the POC up and this will create value up here. The only other thing that I really watched today was Bitcoin. If you guys followed my summary of markets or you followed my newsletter, we talked about how we were looking really strong on that bottom around, what was it, 42,000, 39,000. And I talked about how you had a really strong Momo pinch here. The Momo was pinching bullish, meaning the long term and the short term were both agreeing that this was a good price. And then we just melted all the way to the targets, right? Our first target was 50,200, our second target was 52.7, and our third target was 55.8. And on multiple exchanges, you actually topped out on 55.8 almost perfectly. You didn't hit it on FTX, but you did hit it on OKX and I believe BitMEX as well. But yeah, 55.8 is a big level. And then once we break above that, you're pretty safe to kind of cascade all the way up into like 61. So we're still holding our long. We're long from 39.6. We raised our stop loss to 52.7 because that is our second target. So now that we broke that target, that is our trailing stop. If we break our third target and say we hit like 58, I'm going to raise my stop to the third target around 55.8. Okay? So that's how I'm playing it. Instead of using the targets as get outs, I'm using them as trails. Okay? So we hit this target, I move my stop up. We hit this target, I move my stop up. Now if we hit this one, I'm going to move my stop to, or not when we hit it, but when we break it, I'm going to move my stop to that level as well. We're currently up over 100% on the account on this trade. We took a forex position down here. I was hoping to get filled at 10x. We didn't get filled at 10x, sadly. But I'm happy with forex. It's fine. But yeah, those are the levels you want to watch. I believe the levels that I gave you on the newsletter are completely broken, so I might have to update you guys a third time. Let's see. Yeah, so this level I gave you is already hit. So I'm going to probably make a new update, maybe on Friday. I might make it today if I'm not too busy, but most likely on Friday. So make sure you guys are reading that. So basically, I said these are the next major resistance. These are the next major support. So now that these resistance levels are broken, they're becoming support. Okay, so all three of these levels here are the main levels you want to watch moving forward. Besides that, nothing really exciting happened today. You say, can you explain short about volume profile? Which indicator? So I have a couple series on that, man. So go to my how to trade playlist. I have a how to trade volume profile video. It's one of, I think it's probably the most watched volume profile video on YouTube at this point. If not, it's like number 2, number 3. So check that one out. It's got a lot of views. People really like it. It's going to help you out. And then once you're done with that, I have a whole new series on how to trade volume profile. It's a 5-part series that is also in that that playlist. So if you go to my playlist on YouTube, go to how to trade playlist, and then there's a bunch of videos on volume profile. How can you get the newsletter? Oh yeah, let me give you a link. Sorry. I usually put it in the description, but I forgot to do that today. Here's the link. 100% free. It's just something that I like to do in my free time. We only have 4 issues right now. So I've been doing about 1 a week, sometimes 2 a week. It's just like whenever I find something I want to write about, I give you guys like a little update.
What if this is just a massive bulldog, weekly bulldog on Zoom?
This is like the last support for Zoom right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's the bottom here.
Yeah. Yeah, if you lose like 230, it's pretty Pretty bad.
Yep. But if it bottoms here, it's gonna be the nastiest weekly bulldog. It's gonna surprise a lot of people. Imagine.
JJ, you said you're not getting the newsletter. What email service do you use? I know we had some people that were trying to use like their own domains as the email, and it wasn't working. You said you're using Yahoo. Nobody's mentioned to me that Yahoo hasn't worked, so I'm not sure. Sometimes I'm using Gmail and I get them, but sometimes on Gmail they go to the promotions tab. So on Gmail they have like the regular inbox, they have promotions, and they have like another one. I can't remember what it's called. Sometimes it goes to promotions. So if you're on Gmail, check your promotions. If you're on something else, just check your spam folder. It might go to spam. Yeah, if it's not working at all, I would just recommend making a Gmail because Gmail is working. What's the service I use? It is, it's called Get Review, I think it's called. Yeah, getreview.co. It's the one that's built into Twitter. You said yours is promotions too? Yeah, sometimes mine goes to promotions, sometimes it goes to the regular inbox. It's like hit or miss. Yeah, what Cerise said, sometimes it will go to spam too. I know like most service providers that use that do newsletters, a lot of the time they will go to spam. And I'm using like a free platform, so I'm sure it's not the best. But knock on wood, it's so far the only one that hasn't banned us, so it's the only one that I can use. How do you change all 4 layouts at the same time? If you go up here to the layout button, just link the symbol. So like on this one, it's all symbol linked. So when I change it, it changes all 4. This is the layout I use for the bot when I'm looking at the bot. I do 4 separate time frames. Either the 30-minute or the 1 hour, then the 4-hour daily and weekly. If you want to link the interval, which is the time frame, you can click that too. So now that we've been ranging for quite a while now, you can see that we have overlapping value. So pretty much every single value area here is overlapping. So if we grab a volume profile tool and we find the volume profile of the entire range, we could take these days as well if we wanted to. So like if you wanted to pull it out to here, you could. And this would kind of show you where all the volume is of this accumulation. Okay, so we can see that where we're pushing into right now is the most resistance on the entire range. That's why we've failed up here every single time, because there's a lot of resistance around like 43.42 all the way up to like 43.60. Once we get above 43.60, there's a little bit at 43.67. Once we get above that, it's pretty much safe to run all the way back up. Yeah, it might be a Yahoo issue, but if you got three of them and you didn't get the other one, I'm not sure, man. But if you don't get it in your email, if you just go to the link, you can find my issues on there. If you DM me on Twitter, like what your email is, because I'm sure you don't want to put it like in the YouTube chat. But if you DM me what it is, I can see if you're on the list. Or you can just try to resubscribe, and I'm sure it will tell you like, hey, you're already on the list. What do I think about markets? Is Bitcoin leading the way, or is it a bull trap? So Bitcoin typically is not going to lead equities. There's just not enough money in Bitcoin to do that. But I think Bitcoin is kind of showing the equities market that the buyers are ready to pump, right? And that's really good moving into November, because November is the most bullish month of the year for equities, right? So if crypto runs into November, I think that'll give people a lot of hope that equities will continue to do well in November. But as far as crypto goes, I think Bitcoin is leading, Ethereum is close behind. I think the alts are going to struggle a little bit to follow, because typically when Bitcoin and Ethereum go on these massive runs like this, the altcoins don't do too well. People pull out of the altcoins and put their money into Bitcoin or Ethereum, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm holding spot Ethereum and I'm long Bitcoin on perps. We bought some Ethereum at 3,000. Now it's at 36. So we're doing pretty good. Let me actually get rid of all these overlapping levels. We don't need all these levels on our chart. And let's do it this way. All right, so these are all the levels that we want to pay attention to for the entire accumulation. And let's just make this red so we don't get confused. POC, value area high, value area low. You can see we're slightly bullish because the POC is towards the high, and our price action is slowly moving back towards the high as well. This is a very bullish sign that the value area low is actually around 4,300, 4,304, and all these swing lows are being bought back into the value area low. Means the buyers are trying to protect the range. Wow, look at that. The put to call ratio on CBOE is spiking. is typically a buy signal. We need to wait for it to top out though, because it can't spike much higher. Put to call ratio on SPX though is still down pretty heavily. Typically when the put to call ratio on SPX spikes really hard, so like it goes into like the 5, 6, 7, kind of like when it did on September 15th, that is typically an aggressive buy signal. Like if we go back to September 15th right here, you can see it spiked pretty hard. What I want to see on ES is all of these signals to flip back into buys. So the short time frames are trying to get back into buys, but we're not trending on the short time frames, so you would not really pay too much attention to these signals because the bot is a trend bot and it's based on or does very well on high time frames, not low time frames. So we basically want to use the low time frames as like a warning to when the high time frames are going to start breaking out. The same thing with the 4 hour. The 4 hour is very choppy, so we would ignore that. The daily is pretty trendy, so you pay attention to the daily, and the weekly is very trendy. But these are the two that are in sell signals. So the daily is in a sell signal, and the weekly is creating a sell signal that has not closed yet. But when this closes in 2 days, if it does, it will be the first sell signal since COVID. So that's a little worrying. But the good thing about this sell signal is typically when these sell signals come in and they are relatively still on the trend, it's not exactly a sell signal as like an enter short. It's more of a sell signal as an exit long, like kind of exit your longs, wait for a pullback, and then it will reverse back into being bullish. Kind of like these sell signals here. These sell signals, they were not very far away from the trend, so you would have waited for a buy signal, then you would have got back in. Now look at the COVID sell signal. If I turn off the take profits, you can see the sell signal right here. That is like destroying the trend, right? The trend is getting engulfed. So that would be a sell signal that would be like, okay, I need to go short here. Kind of similar to these candles. See how these candles are very strong engulfing candles? Those are the candles you want to pay attention to when you get sell candles like that. This is like a doji. So this is not very, very scary just yet. VIX is still holding above 20. A little bearish. Dixie was a little green today, but it's kind of pulling back here. The yields are going down, which is good for tech. I'm surprised Ethereum's only up 2% when Bitcoin's up 6.5%. Myrna is getting destroyed, just straight down. Airbnb's not doing too bad. What's the bot say about Airbnb? You have a daily sell signal, but a weekly buy. So if this flips back into a buy on the daily, that actually looks pretty good. I'll be right back, guys. Got a phone call. Probably like 5 minutes. Be right back. All right, sorry about that. Looks like we're getting a little sell-off at the end of the day again. SPY and Q's kind of rolling over a little bit. Pretty nice daily close on the ES. Nice little hammer. Problem is, you're not above the monthly VWAP. The longer we hang out below the monthly VWAP, the worse it is. Same thing with NASDAQ. Same thing with SPY. You can see we're kind of failing the monthly VWAP there around 433. And then Q's around 360. These are the levels that once we get back above these levels, we can start to be like short-term bullish again. Below the monthly VWAP, we're just very choppy. As far as my ES scalping strategy goes, we had a signal this morning, but sadly it was at 6 a.m. Had a perfect signal right here. A 30-minute pivot called the bottom. Had a beautiful retest. So you could have got filled on full size completely. And then it gave you 73 points. Disgusting. If you're trading regular ES, that's $50 a point. If you're trading micro ES, that's $5 a point. So even on micro, that's over $300 a contract. If you get the whole move, obviously. If you go for 10, 20, 30 points, you're going to get a lot less. But still a very good trade. Zero drawdown. Like I said, we didn't trade that. It was at 5:30 in the morning. So if that would have happened around lunchtime or something, would have been better.
What happened to Affirm? Why is it up to 22%?
Not sure, but it looked pretty good. Kind of putting in a full cupping pattern. This was on our watch list last week, and then we took it off the list because it was being too choppy. What's that good news? That's not a technical move. Maybe an upgrade or something. 47 million shares traded today. Buy the dip signal is disgusting on that. Literally the bottom. 27%. Yeah, there must have been some kind of news today, though. There's no way it moves that much in one day.
I posted in the chat something to do. They had like a crypto move or something like that. I don't know.
You got a weekly buy, a daily buy, 4-hour buy, 30-minute buy. Pretty green. Little bullish pennant forming here on ES. Need to stay above the pivot around 43.30. As long as we bounce above that pivot, I think it's okay. 15-minute pivot calling the top. No 30-minute pivot, though. You have an old one, no new one. Did Amazon react to that Twitch news because they own Twitch? I'm sure it's a very, very small subset of their revenue. No, they
Yeah,
didn't. They didn't
it
really
went straight up.
react. Yeah, went up for sure. But people made a good point in the comments. They're like, Twitch didn't get hacked. Amazon got hacked because they're owned by Amazon. Not sure if you guys saw on stream, but Twitch got completely hacked. They said that the hackers even stole their source code. Like they stole everything. And they released the amount of money that the top streamers are making, like per month, pretty much. I'm sure YouTube loved to see that shit because YouTube is trying to acquire streamers from Twitch, right? And now they know how much Twitch is paying them. So it makes their offers a lot easier. We don't have any daily buys coming in on big tech. Netflix is the only one. We had a weekly buy and a daily buy on Netflix, really strong. What about Amazon? Nope. Tesla, daily buy, weekly buy. Looks like the next one is going to be. That's hard to say. Probably Microsoft. I'd keep an eye on Microsoft. Doesn't look too bad. Momentum's starting to climb. Look at the Momo. Short-term climbing, long-term climbing. So if we can break this this little trend here, you should be able to push to 43.55. What time is it? Got about 15 minutes left, so probably not going to push today. There you go. Breaking the trend. See if we can push 43.55. That'd be a pretty big move going into the close. But that would be the level you're watching. NASDAQ pushing as well.
That's cool.
Dow Jones looks the best, had a pretty flat top. This is actually a hidden bull div. I don't use hidden bull divs, but this is a hidden bull div right here. Higher low, lower low. The numbers we want to watch going into the end of the week, going into next week, are the 200 EMAs on SPY and Qs. So we look at the 30-minute here. We're looking at around 437 on SPY, and then around 364 on Qs. Once we recover those levels, we're back into an uptrend, right? I mean, you do have to wait for the 200 EMA to kind of catch up and start uptrending, but it's safe to say if we hold above those levels, we're going back into an uptrend. SPY is pretty close, only about 3 points away. Qs kind of far. You got about what, almost 10 points. Not that much actually, probably about 6. But these are the levels you want to watch. You can see how he retested it right here, and caused us to nuke pretty heavily. So when we come back to retest these 200 EMAs, we need to not hang out for too long. We want to start pushing away from it, right? And then if we push away from it, it will start to curl. And once it starts to curl, then you're in an uptrend, right? When the 200 EMA is uptrending and price is uptrending, we're going back into like up-only season. But as of right now, we're in down-only season. So this might actually get our 4355 by the end of the day. What time is it? At 10 minutes. You guys notice how I predicted that pump? It's very easy. When you have the Momo, we had this little pennant being pushed up by the 21 EMA, and then we saw in the Momo that the short-term momentum was going green, and the long-term momentum was going green. It was starting to push up. Then we had the breakout. So now we need to watch this short term. If the short term starts to explode like this, then that's very bullish, and we could start to see a big move up. It's getting a little weak right now. Yeah, we're still failing the 15-minute pivot. 15-minute momentum is pretty good, though. Climbing here on the momentum. These pivots have been pretty clean today on the 15-minute. I typically like the 30 more, but the 15 is not bad here. You have a nice little pivot here, put in the high, pivot right here, put in the low, consolidated, and then once we broke that pivot, it's just straight up. So now we have a new pivot. So now we have to wait for this one to break, and we could see a move like this. We're already above the node from yesterday, or is that from today? That's from today, actually. So we're already above this node. So this is a lot of support here. So as long as we can maintain above, like, what is it? 43, 43. This is pretty bullish. When you're breaking out into like new highs or new lows, you always want to watch how the nodes are building. If they start to build up, and then like say price is kind of hovering right here, and it's building the node, and then we start to push off of it, this node becomes support, right? So if we come back down, we need to maintain that node and then push back off of it. If it loses the node, then it becomes resistance and you're probably going to head lower. So for right now, we're okay. We're pushing off of it. And then if we look at yesterday, we can look at kind of like where do we want to target. And we have like the POC right on that red line. And then there's really nothing above that. So 43.55. Once we get above that, we should be able to push away from that level pretty easily. And that's just very basic stuff. That's nothing too complicated. Got about 5 minutes left, so we have one more candle here, last 5-minute candle. Let's see if we can hit that 55. You only need 6 points here.
We got push on Facebook and Apple.
Much better close than we had yesterday. Yesterday we sold off into the close. Today we're being bought up. You might actually get it. 3 minutes left. You're almost there. Very good bottoms and tops here on the Momo today. Little 1 minute bottom there, 1 minute bottom, 1 minute top. Two minutes. Let's see. We got 2 points to go.
We just went to 435.
Hey, Coconut, what's going on? There's 43.55. The POC is close to 56, so you're almost there. Very nice breakout. This is a good example of like scalping ES. Like this little move here doesn't look like a lot. There's the target. That little move there is 12.5 points. That's more than enough to trade ES. So if you're trading ES, that's a little over $600. If you're trading micro, that's about $60. So far, it's the high to the tick. You said you bought the trading suite. Let me take a look. So you have to be added manually. So if you buy during stream, I don't grant access during stream, obviously, because I'm streaming. Let me see. No, I see you. I see you. So as soon as the stream is over, you'll see access.
How was the stocks?
Not bad, but crypto was definitely outperforming. Got paid on Bitcoin today. Really nice daily close on SPY and ES. Beautiful close on SPY, actually. Really good.
Look at the close on Qs.
Yeah, they're both really good. We should be able to climb on that tomorrow. All right, guys, I'm gonna end the stream. Appreciate you guys being here. Make sure to like the video if you guys like the content. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe. If you guys are still looking to learn, make sure you check out my How to Trade playlist on YouTube. Coconut will get to you right after the stream, like I said. So check again, like in 5 minutes. Sometimes what you have to do, Coconut, is you have to completely close your trading view and then pull it back up, and it will show you the access. So sometimes it makes you close everything. But you should see it within 5-10 minutes. But all right, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you guys are in Discord, I'm going to post the analysis within the next hour or so. And then I'll see you guys on stream tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, guys, peace out.